Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra S. and I'm Afen, and I'm here for business. And tonight we begin from the textile industry, where the Dubai Business Chamber in Ghana has expressed commitment towards assisting players in the local textile and apparel industry. The move is expected to position local producers for Dubai's garment industry and other international markets. Head of the Dubai Chamber office in Accra, Sildakwa, made a pledge at a roundtable meeting in Accra for stakeholders in the textile and apparel industry.
Although Ghana has a huge potential in the textile industry, about 70% of textiles located on the market are imported. The influx of cheap smuggled fabrics has led to the collapse of many textile manufacturing companies, with the remaining few struggling to survive. But speaking to Joy Business, head of the Dubai Chamber, Cyril Dakwa, said there's a $4 billion textile market in Dubai that Ghanaian players can explore to enhance their profitability.
Dubai Textile City, for example, is one free zones enclave in Dubai, which is basically a $4 billion market with a reach of about 1.5 billion customers. Now, this enclave is one opportunity which local manufacturers like GTP, Consumer Textiles can actually take advantage of, because it welcomes companies, manufacturers and traders from all over the world, different nationalities, lots of incentives such as 100% repatriation of profits, no income tax, no VAT, so long as the goods are sold in the enclave. There's been lots of talk about pirated products coming in, which is killing the local industry. And now I'm expecting some of the local companies to be proactive as well, to take advantage of some of these markets, because this market is there for the taking. And what we will be doing as a chamber is facilitating this process.
Cyril Dakwa was speaking at a roundtable stakeholders meeting for textile and fashion retail industry players. On his part, the head of marketing at GTP, Stephen Badu, explained that the right structures will be needed to encourage exports of locally manufactured textiles.
For a very long time, our business has been set up to serve the local market, and that has gone on for a very long time, and that's the truth. But we're changing. So, for you to be able to operate and take advantage of the global market, you need to go digital. You need to have a lot of systems changing, which we are changing, but gradually. We are not changing as fast as we should. And so because of that, we've not been able to take advantage of the market out there. But as I said, we recognize these opportunities, and we are we are putting a system in place to take advantage of the global market, particularly the diaspora market, especially the USA.
Similarly, the president of the apparel manufacturers, Gregory Kanko, said governments must make a conscious effort to develop the apparel sector to help maximize gains.
For Ghana as a country, it's an area we should look at very strategically. We can't play lip service. Like I said earlier on, we start getting there, then we drop off again, because it's an industry that needs a lot of attention. It's highly capital and labor intensive. Rates of investment returns are high, but it needs a lot of attention because it's multifaceted.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklu.
About 60 viable but struggling businesses in both the private and public sectors have received financial and technical support as part of stimulus packages under the National Industrial Revitalization Program. According to Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Carlos Ahenkra, more businesses will be added by the end of the year.
The National Industrial Revitalization Program is an initiative by the government to revive struggling businesses with the potential to expand if given the support. Some sectors that benefited from the program include manufacturing, agribusiness, textile, among other sectors. Speaking with Joy Business after addressing a power breakfast meeting hosted by the Ghana South African Business Chamber, Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Carlos Ahenkra assured that besides the 60 companies that receive support, government will also support other small industries that need some intervention.
We had 85 companies on stream. After going through the technical analysis and, of course, consultants looking through their books, about 60 of them today, I would say, are comfortably okay with some little support from government. I can point my hands directly to the textile industries, where Kosovo industry, it's now back on stream and producing the Voltastar company and other companies. We are not going to relent in our efforts to get this economically viable by distressed companies back on stream or back on track. We are going to do everything possible under our capacity as a government to support, as it were, some of these companies which need just little a push to bring them back onto stream.
President of the South Africa Business Chamber, Ashley Ricks, believes various industrial reforms introduced by the government will yield positive outcomes.
We have sort of seen in the last, say, like 12 months, business is picking up. Before that, there was a lot of fiscal consolidation and a lack of sort of or less government spending side, which obviously trickles down to the private sector and to the private businesses. So they feel it on their pocket. I think Yofi Grant alluded to that today as well, where he said, there's still this, people complaining there's not enough money in the system. He says, well, there's still the same amount of money. You just got to work a bit harder for it now, which I think is very, very true, and that's a very good perception that our members have as well. But as far as 2019 goes, we are looking positive. Ghana's still got a tremendous growth. It's still a tremendous destination for foreigners to come and do business.
The meeting was aimed at helping members of the chamber to take advantage of the good business outlook for 2019.
To other stories now. With just 29 days left for the UK to exit European Union, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says government is looking forward to uninterrupted trade relations with the United Kingdom. The Vice President made a remark at the Kotoka International Airport after a working visit to the UK.
We also took advantage to discuss the trade relations between Ghana and the UK post-Brexit. We needed to anticipate Brexit and how it would mean in terms of our trading relationship. Currently, we are operating under the Economic Partnership Agreement under the EU, but if we have a hard Brexit, we will have to think about a new area of cooperation. And we had fruitful discussions on that area between our team and theirs, and we are going to take those discussions forward as their situation also evolves. But we expect that whatever we are going to put in place by March 29th would be sufficient not to disrupt any trade between Ghana and the UK post-Brexit. It's very important for both of our countries that there is no disruption in trade.
A council member of Ghana Institute of Architects, Tony Asari, is calling for a more scientific approach to addressing the housing challenges in the country. He said policies over the years have concentrated on home ownership, a decision that needs to be reviewed. There's more in the following report.
Ghana is said to have a housing deficit in excess of 1.7 million housing units and is still mounting. There have been several efforts by successive governments to address the housing situation. However, statistics indicate that a minimum of about 85,000 housing units must be constructed annually to address the housing deficit over the next 20 years. According to a council member of the Ghana Institute of Architects, Tony Asari, the housing deficit should be tackled scientifically in order to meet the housing need.
We keep growing at about 2.3% per annum, and so by the end of 2019, if we were at 2 million housing deficit, then we are going to add another 2.3%. That's another 46,000 housing deficit if we are not reducing the deficit. But we need a very scientific assessment of the kind of housing that makes up this 2 million housing units. How much of it is public sector housing that is needed? How much of it is housing for low-income earners? How much of it is for middle income? How much of it is for old people? How much of it is for young people, young families? We don't have a very scientific way of tackling it. So the moment maybe you get people coming to, governments coming to say that, okay, there is a housing deficit. So how do we approach it? We say, okay, we are going to build 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom houses. That is a very unscientific way of approaching the housing deficit.
He urged government to implement policies that will make funds available for individuals to enable them pursue their own projects.
If we decide that we want to have a lot more housing, what aspects? So, for instance, we have a lot of uncompleted buildings. If the government decides today that we are going to come up with a policy that says that if you have an uncompleted building and it falls within a certain range, maybe total floor area or a certain size or the ability for you to be able to rent it, we can find ways of providing cheap funding.
Government has indicated plans to pursue other housing projects. For Joy Business, Alberta BCU reporting.
All right, so that's all for business for now with me, Sandra Esenam. I'll be back with